Where my girls at? Independent, free spirit. Ooh, it's something serious. Where my girls at? We linked up in a cool minute. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. It's going down tonight. We going out tonight. Yeah, right. We going out tonight. It's going down tonight. Yeah, right. It's going down tonight. We going out tonight. Yeah, right. We going out tonight. It's going down tonight. Yeah, right.
Where my girls at?
It's going down, down. Where my girls at? It's going down. It's going down. Yes, 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 yes. Welcome, 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 friends. We got issues with the force of friendship on 9:10 a.m. the Superstation. I'm so excited that you guys are here. We're here every day, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 Eastern Standard Time. When I tell you we do friendship well, Sabrina, Katrina, Chrisette, and Gloria, girlfriends, entrepreneurship, friendship, marriage. Oh my goodness, 30 years, you guys. 30 years of doing this thing the best we can. So we got something to say. Yes, type your name in the chat. Tell us who you are. Tell us where you're calling in from, where you're viewing in from. We have been at this thing for about a year and a half now. Radio host, girls, give yourself a round of applause. A year and a half of hosting a daily radio show. Yes, yes, yes. I don't know how we do it, but we do. You know, we believe that we have something to say. God has given us his platform, and we want to give others the platform to talk about it. We don't want to stay in the issue. We want to be problem solvers. There are no perfect people allowed. So we thank you for being part of our tribe. We do. We do. Somebody says, yes, Lady Chris said, our girlfriend is on vacay from us. Yes. So that's Katrina being messy. It's three of us. Okay, three of us. First Lady Chrisette is off today. Again, she's on that summer schedule, and hey, it's all good. We hold it down for each other. That's what girlfriends do. We hold it down. We hold it down. Well, it's Thirsty Thursday. This summer is marching on, June 23rd. Y'all better soak up this sun. Y'all better get all of it, because in a minute it's going to be cold, and we're going to wish we had some of this heat. We know that it's really hot in some parts of the country.
You're already talking about cold.
She already talking about cold. We ain't even had a week. We ain't even had a week of summer yet. She talking about the cold.
Yeah, well, you know, in Ohio, baby, come August, it's starting to turn a little bit, I hear. So I'm just getting myself ready for it. So y'all better enjoy fun in the sun. You guys, you know, some of us are bossy, some are messy, some are classy, some are lazy, some are gossipy, some are churchy, some are, oh, well, what else? What else are y'all? Techie. You know, every kind of girlfriend.
Everything.
So you know what kind of girlfriend you are. Type your name in the chat. As we get to know, we want to know what kind of girlfriend are you. But the bottom line is it takes all kind to make the world go round. So Katrina, in your Kelly green, talk to us. How are you doing in that AKA green? I got my Delta red on.
So, just so you know.
Gloria got her me by me yellow on.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. Today, you know, for Mother's Day, I got my mom a photo shoot. And today was the day we were going to do the photo shoot. We had picked the location outside. First of all, my mama wasn't feeling it because these people still up in this house. She's like, you got me doing this, all this stuff. But we had to call it off because it's too hot. I mean, the makeup artist was like, y'all gonna have to stay. If you do that photo shoot, you will have to be in the car with full on blast. There is no way you are doing a photo shoot in that beautiful gazebo outside. It's just too hot. And so we postponed it. We're actually going to do it in Oakland next week, because Oakland, Dorothy will let us know, you know, it's like, it could be 10, 15, 20 degrees cooler. But we are still having a heat wave up in these parts. Like, you know, Max the dog loves to go to the store. He loves to go to the store. We keep making trips to Home Depot, but we have to carry him in because, and then let them walk in the Home Depot because the concrete is too hot for those doggies' paws.
Wow.
They can't walk on the concrete.
I tell you, it's beautiful. It's beautiful here. Took an afternoon walk, got my movement in. Did you girls move today? I got my movement in the middle of. Look at y'all. Ain't none of y'all been accountable. Okay, I was so get up and get moving challenge, y'all. Okay, y'all been. You still got the rest of the day.
I'm gonna do it tonight, though. I'm gonna go on my Peloton tonight. Yeah. I am.
Yeah, long as you get it in, it doesn't matter. Just long as you get it in. But in the middle of the afternoon, I mean, it was like 73 degrees here today. So perfectly beautiful weather here in Northeast Ohio. So, Gloria, you're looking good in your Me Find Me Yellow. How are you?
Girl, I came on here. I'm like, oh, I need to belong. I don't belong nowhere. So obviously, I got issues, okay? I ain't red. I ain't green. I ain't blue. I ain't gold. I ain't got no cane. I ain't got no alpha. I ain't got jack, okay? I got Me Find Me. That's it. That's all I got. I'm telling you. But it's not that hot. It was rainy all day today. That's my news for here. It's been rainy, but it's supposed to be beautiful tomorrow. So I'm very excited. Yeah, I did some deep mentoring today. You know, it's really deep when you deal with really helping women pass dark times in their lives. You know, I had a friend of mine who a relationship was really important to them, and that relationship is over. And that's a very hard thing to take on. So I love this show talking about girlfriends, because we've all been there where it was dark at one moment and then light at another moment and dark at another moment and then bright at another moment. So, you know, girlfriends are really important. And it's not so much that you talk to them every day, like we talk to each other every day on the radio show, 6 or 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got issues, 9, 10 a.m. the Superstation. But it is important that you're there to listen to them. It's there to understand them. It's there to give them a lending ear. And, you know, it's not necessarily about what's going on in the world. Sometimes it's what's going on in your world. So it's good to be able to be a friend. It's good to be able to be a listening ear for people. And, you know, you got to realize that when you're carrying somebody else's burden, you need to be lifted up enough to carry theirs for a minute so that you can, you know, because the roles will reverse. It always does.
Yeah, that's a great point, Gloria. I mean, that's why having a release of exercising, walking, doing something, because as mentors, we take in so much. You're dealing with your own life. You got your own situation. Then when you're mentoring, you take just like therapists, I guess, right? Counselors and therapists and pastors. So you have to have that release.
And anybody who listens, Sabrina, isn't that true? Anybody who listens, you know, we can talk about, today we can talk about listening is a reason to exercise. Tomorrow we can talk about your heart's a reason to exercise. The next day is something else. There's so many reasons to move. And one of the things, although I haven't got on the Peloton yet, but I'm truly clocking my steps. I'm really paying attention. I don't park next to the store. I park way on the other end of the parking lot. So I have to take a lot of steps in and out. I'm paying attention to the steps.
Yeah, that's so good. I'm thinking about getting one. Can you believe I've never had a Apple Watch that track my steps? Never.
You gotta have. Can you believe I can't find mine? It is somewhere in this house.
You can't find hers, okay? That's why I don't have it. Because you lose them. Everybody tells them they lose them.
No, they don't lose things. You lose things. No, you don't need no watch because you always lose things, for real. She messy and she loses stuff, for real.
I'm messy and I'm messy. Today, you guys, we're going to get back to this because I want to talk about the hearings. I mean, I heard it was some juice over there today. But today, we are talking discipline, creating good habits in 21 days. Do you believe it? Does it really work? Have you tried it? So we want you to call in at 313-778-7600. When I tell you these girlfriends are some of the most disciplined individuals that I have ever known in life. They have created some habits. They have discipline like no other. And so we're going to talk about what's worked, what hasn't worked. But before we get into our topic, my goodness, y'all, I didn't watch it today. What went on at the hearings today?
Okay, so way back. Let's talk about way back, like way back, babe, way back. I used to watch Days of Our Lives, but it's happening again right now on all the Steve. You think Days of Our Lives is unfolding with some of the most highest officials in some of the most critical decisions. To watch some of the things that they have done. You know, to hear them just talk about in and out of the Oval Office. Yes, I got a call from the president. Yes, he called me on my cell phone. I mean, it's mind blowing in so many ways, so many levels, so many pieces of the onion to peel back. But when I tell you, when you make up your mind to have integrity, it is clearly not the easiest thing when someone's pushing against you. And we have seen some people who it's just it really I think I'm riveted there because it's hard to really believe that we almost had a coup, that we almost lost our democracy. It was like, remember when
Yeah.
COVID came and you couldn't really believe, like, this can't be happening.
Right.
Can't be happening in
Right.
2022.
Right.
It cannot be happening that
Yeah.
people are dying
Yeah.
every second, and that there's it's 2020. Like Ukraine, it can't be happening. It just really can't be. Taliban, it can't really be a coup in the United States. It can't really be happening, but it did. It really was. It was that close. And it's interesting. It's interesting to watch the questions. It's interesting how to watch the questions. It's interesting to watch this. It's just interesting how they're unfolding this whole thing. It's hard not to be split. It's hard not to be political in this country. It just is hard.
And Gloria, first of all, Anthony has watched it. So, I mean, he came in and I literally wrote down, because he was telling me all the players, and I was like, okay, hold on, I need a chart to be able to understand this. And I wrote it down. One of the things I really got is as powerful as the president is, as the most powerful man and one day the most powerful woman in the world, the career professionals in the DOJ, those bureaucrats, we call them, and many of them appointed as well, but the power they have collectively, because the president comes and goes, but the people the DOJ, the fact that they said that over 100 attorneys after Barr left, then Rosen was the acting attorney general, and he stood his ground. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but Trump was trying to get at him, and he was like, I am not having it. So he went below the belt and went to Clark, which the person below the attorney general is not even supposed to talk to the president. And so Trump wanted to put Clark in the position, and Clark would have done.
Put him in there. Didn't want to put him in there. Put him in there.
He put him in there, right?
Put it on Twitter. Said he was the attorney general without anybody else knowing it.
Wow. But it wasn't official, right? Because they said if it had been official, 100 attorneys plus in the DOJ would have walked out. I mean, that's some power.
And they said it was going to be across the nation. So it was going to be all the attorney generals. And then you go down to the, a level below them, which is in Washington, D.C. And then you go out to every state. And there's so much power that if those 6 or 7 had left, the rest of them were going to all leave. And that's the only thing that stopped him, was that all your attorneys in the United States are going to quit. And therefore, listen to this, and therefore they're not going to talk about the vote. See, he wanted them to talk about, they're not going to talk about the vote. That will be a dead subject. That's what stopped him. Not that it was illegal. You will not be the conversation. All the conversation will be about all the attorneys in the United States quit on you.
Yeah.
Can you imagine those Zoom meetings? Can you imagine those conference calls and Zoom meetings?
Now here's the thing. I would love to hear Anthony's. Let me tell you what I saw. There's no emotion. They're just talking. They're very direct. They're very succinct. There's no emotion. Only person that was emotional in their story was Trump, because he was getting madder and madder and redder and angry and angrier and talking, using bad stuff. But they're no, I'm not doing that. That's against the law. He is not prepared. He is a environment lawyer. He is not prepared to run the country. No one will follow his lead. He doesn't know the way to the FBI's office. He doesn't know the way to his office. The guy doesn't know who he is. And so you're going to ask the 150,000 employees was going to instantly report to this guy who knew nothing.
I mean, it's unreal. It's unreal. It is baffling that we are at this place. I keep every time I have not listened a lot, but how did we get here? How could we still be here in hearings when we saw it go down? We saw it with our own eyes. What is there to question? That's my thing. What is there to question? Oh my goodness, we got issues. Our country got issues. Lord, help us fix these issues. We'll be right back to get on our topic, discipline, habits, 313-778-7600. This is Sabrina. We'll be right back. We're back. We're back. We're back with the girlfriends, Sabrina, Katrina, Chrisette, and Gloria. 3 of the 4 are here today, present, and we are talking habits. We are talking, does it really take only 21 days to form a habit? Do you believe that or not? So girlfriends, let's talk about habits. What habits have you formed over the years that you're proud of? What habits do you want to get better in forming? I mean, it could be anywhere from sleep habits to diet to exercise to what else? Work ethic. I mean, there's so many habits are in every part of our lives. Our spiritual life, a habit is going to church, right? You get into that habit. COVID came, I had to get out of that habit because I would think 90% of the churches stopped meeting like they met. So what habits are you proud of, and what habits do you want to become better? Okay, Gloria, go for it, Gloria.
Okay, one habit that I'm really proud of is that I take a shower every day. Every day I take a shower.
That's
every
good.
day, every day.
Hygiene.
Now let me tell you
Hygiene
why.
is a habit. Hygiene is a habit, right?
Hygiene is a habit, and not everybody has it, and not everybody has the ability to do it. But let me tell you why I bring that up, because it's sort of funny, but it's sort of real. If you really think of everything that you have to do by the time you wake up to the time you leave your house, if you're going to go someplace, because we've done it for so long, the same thing over and over and over again, it's no big deal. But if you write down everything you do, it is a lot to get to the point where you do, get up, go to the bathroom, brush your teeth, put your makeup on, get some coffee, go downstairs, pick up clothes, put them in the wash. I mean, it's a lot to do. Same thing. It's just a lot. So it really does make a difference that you have habits that structure. The shower is just an example of how habits cause structure in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good. And Gloria, we're so glad that that's a habit for you. We're habits are
messy, messy.
Katrina.
My best habit is drinking water. That's good. At first I was going to say something else, but that probably is my most consistent habit. For whatever reason, I don't do soda, I don't do coffee, I don't do iced tea. I do tea every once in a while, and I will treat myself to a juice or a Sprite every once in a while. But water is just that is
you don't
easy
do coffee either?
That comes easy. No coffee. I mean, no coffee. So
okay, now I ain't in the sorority and I don't drink coffee. I'm supposed to be wherever Chrisette is, okay?
Yeah, I mean, Katrina, do you know that is such a good habit because so many people don't. Katrina, seriously, it's spending my money. Anthony said your habit, bad habit. Y'all talking about good habits. Now we're going to talk about bad habits. Now, Katrina, that water is such a good habit. So many people, it is hard to get the water down. So that is a good habit. Talk to them about how you created that habit of drinking water.
Again, I got that from my daddy. He would always have the big old beer. Now, don't get me wrong. He had his beer thing, but he just always was like, he would make that water feel like it tastes so good. He romanced the water. That's the best thing ever. I mean, I developed a thirst for water early on. I believe that's where it came from. My mother didn't have it, and she really didn't have it. And they said, you have got to start drinking water. And she really prayed and said, God, give me a taste for water. She moved to for a period of time, she lived in the desert, and that'll give you a thirst for water because nothing will help you in the desert except for water. I don't care how cold it is. It needs to be water. So I've had that really all my life. And so if I didn't drink water all the time, I wouldn't know what to do.
Excellent. What about bad habits? Any bad habits that you want to get better at? Any habits you want to create? Yeah, Gloria.
I still rush. This year has been a year that I said I wasn't going to rush. But I still, if we need to leave the house at 7:00, I'm ready to leave at 7:01 or 7:05. I'm not ready to leave at 6:50. My son, Clutch, he's like, early is on time and on time is late. He's always been that way since he was a little kid. Me,
that's good.
Always. And it's so stressful, but I always got one more thing to do. And it's a bad habit, especially because it makes other people feel like you're not valuing their time. And when you're married to a man who likes to be there early, he's always looking at me side-eyed. I'm like, how could you possibly be ready? So what he does is, if we have to leave at 7, he tells me we have to leave at 6:30, Gloria. We have to leave at 6:30 so that we leave by 7. I know it now, and I act accordingly. It's ridiculous.
I'm glad Anthony's watching him like another thing. You just like your mentor. Another thing, I can hear him in the other room. You are so alike. Working out. I mean, I'm telling you, working out and being disciplined with healthy food and supplement choices. It is, I get on it. 7 days consistently is challenging for me. So Sabrina is just amazing. Hey, you know what? This is one show maybe my husband shouldn't watch, talking about bad habits. But he's in there watching the. I told you it was glued to the TV, so now he got us on split screen. But that working out, honestly, some people are just addicted to it. And the more I was up on this, I'll talk later about what I learned about habits. It's just I got to turn it on in my brain, because I'm telling you that part is not that connection. It ain't connected.
Yeah. But they say that consistency and every day. I'm just so grateful. It was Chrisette who said every day for this challenge. And I don't ever remember working out every day at any point in my life. It was always every other day. If I was with a trainer, it was 2, 3 times a week, but it was never Monday through Friday. And so when Chrisette first said that, I was like, know about that. But then I got into it, and honestly, it's been amazing. It really has just given me such focus and timeliness in several different areas of my life. And so it's only been 23 days, but hey, it's been 23 days.
That's
And
awesome.
so,
That's
yeah,
very awesome.
That's huge.
23
Sabrina,
days.
your
Has it
skin is
changed the way
glowing.
you want to
Like,
eat?
I can see it in your skin. You have a different glow. It's just
Really, that exercise is sweating out the toxins. I don't want the junk as much as I was wanting it before.
Right.
I'm drinking
Right.
more water. I mean, when you're exercising, you're burning so much that you just don't even want to eat the way you've been eating. And so that's one good habit, the habit of the last 23 days that I am most proud of. Somebody said skincare is a habit, having great
Right.
skincare. That is
Right.
so good. One of our listeners said that she's very proud of having a great skincare routine. We are all on a great skincare routine, and it's made such a difference in the way our skin
Sabrina,
looks.
can
the
we
way
talk
it
about that
feels.
for a second?
Yeah.
Because, people see your face before they see anything else. And they remember your face before they remember anything else. And I've had so many, like we've all had so many makeup artists. They just always spend a lot of time telling us how great our skin is because we've been on a great line for a very long time. And the consistency of using it morning and night. And it's so funny, Chrisette's not on this one, because one time we were all together and she was watching her face. I mean, that chick really, really,
She goes
every
in.
piece of dirt come off her face. She like
the whole
really,
routine.
really washes her face. I think all of us do it somewhat differently, but we've been on a good line and it really has shown up,
Yeah, for sure. So skincare, having good skincare, it is a habit. Morning and night, it makes such a difference to how your skin looks and feels. And then Dorothy said sleeping. She wants better sleeping habits. And so what does that look like for you guys? Let's ask our viewers, are you morning people? Are you night people? Do you need a lot of sleep? Do you not need a lot of sleep? I think the professionals tell us something different every year. There was at one point, they said for good health, you need 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night. Now, I don't know if that's still the case, but for me, I know I need my 7. I need 7 to fully function at my optimal best. And I usually get the 7. I do. Except last night, I was on TikTok till 3:30 in the morning, so that wasn't
You
good.
sure was.
It was jamming too. Go to her TikTok. It's a really cute video.
So I didn't get my 7. I'm kind of feeling a little like I need something. But anyway, sleep. What do you guys, Katrina, do you need a lot of sleep? Gloria, do you need a lot of sleep? What time is your normal bedtime and what time do you get up?
I go to bed at 11 o'clock, but I would like to go to bed at 10. And I get up around 5 o'clock, 5:30. And I would like to get up around 4:30, 5 o'clock. I really would. I would, because I like the silence. I like the quiet. It's great for my prayer time and my meditation time. I usually do get up around 5:15, but it's changed over time too. I can honestly say it's changed over time, but I would love to go to bed at 10 o'clock, but I just can't seem to get into. I just can't.
Well, you're getting your 6
What about
hours.
you?
11 to 5 is about 6 hours. So at least you're getting decent rest because the body certainly needs that. What about you, Katrina? We'll answer that. No, you don't never sleep. You don't never sleep.
My eyes
You don't
open
never sleep,
between
right?
7:15 and 7:30, regardless, and I get out of bed at 8:30. I'm a slow getter out of bed. Okay, I'll get up, but then I have to I'm slow, and so I go to bed between 12 and 2. And honestly, I've always been a little bit like I can make it off of 6 hours during the work week, but on the weekend, I need to get a 9 hour time in there. I mean, one of those days I have to make it up. And I just have this thing about, I'm glad we're not traveling like we used to, but when we were traveling, I just had this thing about being in my bed on Sunday night. Like if I am traveling on Monday morning, it just throws, and I get in at crazy times, it throws my whole week off, because one of those days, Saturday or Sunday, I got to get a nap or extra time. It's just like a habit for me to catch up on the days I didn't sleep well.
So Ola says she's a night person. She gets about 7. Beverly says she gets about 9 hours. You guys, how do you create that good sleep habit? We're going to talk about that when we come back. Good. We got issues with the force of friendship. Call us at 313-778-7600. Susie with 3 to 4 hours. We want to hear from you. Call us. We'll be right back. We're back. Yes. We are back. Susie, oh my goodness. Susie Inman says 3 to 4 hours a night is
hot flashes.
That's pretty amazing. Dayla says she never gets 7 hours. She still wakes up at 5 to 5:30, no matter what time she goes to sleep. Well, more power to you people. Susie says hot flashes. Once I'm up, I can't go back to sleep. Wish you all would do a segment on hot flashes. We will.
That's good.
Yes. We will do that because we have all dealt with it and we have some solutions. And so we would love to talk about that. We will. You guys, we always want your suggestions, show ideas. We're very open. We're always open to guests and topics. So please private message us, type it in the chat. The Beehive says, my sleep is broken due to 4 a.m. prayers, but I return to sleep within the hour, so I still get 6 hours. You know, it's interesting because it's something about that broken sleep that is not
Mhm.
as good. There are several
Understand.
different, we had a sleep specialist and she talked about the different layers of sleep, and that broken sleep can sometimes not be good. So let's talk about how you can try to get better sleep. You've heard a lot of this, but this is just a refresher course as we're talking about creating good sleep habits right now. Number one, set a consistent sleep schedule. No matter what, I know if you're traveling, you got something going on, but at least have an aim for what time you're going to bed. Have a sleep time. Number two, what is your bedtime ritual? It's a habit. Brushing your teeth, washing your face, relaxing, maybe some meditation. What do you do that sets the routine for sleep? Number three, get regular exercise. Clearly, you guys, you sleep better when you are moving. You do, you do, you do. Number four, and I mean, we're so blessed to have a home sauna, y'all. And when I tell you that's the best sleep ever, I mean,
Wow.
it's the best sleep ever. I just told somebody the other day,
You sauna before you go to bed?
yeah, sometimes I don't always do it, but when I
Yeah.
do, it's the best sleep I've ever had in life. I don't know what
Wow.
it is.
Wow.
I gotta figure out why you feel so relaxed and you sleep like a baby. Um, Number four, keep a healthy diet. Number five, limit caffeine and avoid nicotine. Limit caffeine and avoid nicotine. I don't know. I think as I get older, if I have a Coke or something, I am like wired at night. And Kenny's like, what did you drink tonight? Because I'm 3 o'clock, want to have a full-fledged conversation. And then I remember, oh, I had a soda earlier today. I don't do it often, but when I do, it keeps me up. Oh, wow. This says avoid alcohol. Okay. So I thought because wine makes me sleepy. It just like relaxes me. So why do they say
Yeah,
avoid it?
but they say wine will make you sleepy, but it doesn't let you go low into that sleep level. It keeps
Okay.
you it's something
Mhm.
about it keeps your mind going. That's what they say.
Okay.
I
Okay.
don't do it,
The
but
next the next point, keep naps short. Don't be laying in the bed in the middle of the day for 3, 4 hours. So that's Katrina. Okay. That girl can take a nap in the middle of the
I
day.
go in. 20 minutes ain't enough, but I take a nap.
Yeah.
90 minutes.
And then the last thing it said is use your bedroom for sleep only. So don't work in there, don't hang out in there. When you go to the bedroom, that's for sleep time.
right.
So um, we hope that those tips were helpful. Now let's talk about creating a habit in 21 days. There is a myth out there. Some say it's factual. Some people say there's no truth to it. Girlfriends, do you think that a habit can be formed in 21 days? What do you think?
I think it can be, but it's got to be backed with a couple of things. It's got to be backed with, I think information makes a difference. Like when I try to change my food, when I inform myself what food does that's not good for me and what food does well for me, and when I track it, then I can get on track and I can stay with it for a long time. And it needs
Mhm.
at least a 21 days to get me
Yeah.
to the point where I don't want anything else. But if
Okay.
it's backed with some kind of reason for it, I think the
Mm.
big deal is getting to 21 days. And so how do you get
Yep.
to 21 days?
Right. 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 Katrina, what are your thoughts?
This is my biggest Dr. Carolyn Leaf find is, and I
And
looked
tell
it
them
up
who
like
Dr. Carolyn Leaf is. She's one of our
she is
favorite
a
psychotherapists.
neuroscientist,
Yes.
bad to the bone. She understands everything about the brain, the mind, and she wraps it all up in scripture. She's powerful, just really, really powerful. From South Africa, lives in Dallas, and a friend of Dr. Lady Crissette. Um, she says most people have heard the science behind it takes 21 days to make or break a habit. And while this is true, many scientists are starting to believe that it's 63 to 66 days. And there's a change in neural pathways and synapses that occurs during certain factors like behavior, environment, and neural processes. It says the brain actually engages in pruning, deleting the connections that are no longer necessary or useful, and strengthening the ones that are. So, to make it real simple, she says it's 3 cycles of 21 days. The first cycle is declaring that you can. Declare that you can. You just keep on declaring you can. The second cycle is making the choice. Once you've decided to make the change, once you've declared it, then you decide to actually make the change, and you're in that path for 21 days. And then the final 21 days is building a new habit. And you can Google it, and she gives you more example and science behind why it is that way. But that's the biggest thing, is it's actually these neural pathways that are breaking in the brain, and the new ones are like forming. It's like uprooting a tree and planting a new tree. It don't happen just in 21 days. So that's like 63 days is no joke. And she has an app called Switch, and the app will help you track a habit to break.
That's so good. That's so good, because in my research, basically the same thing. 21 days sets you up to be on your way to setting up a habit, a real long-term habit. The 21 days jumpstarts you. And everything I read is like 3 cycles to 90 days. Yes, friend, that's it. And so it's like the 21 days, and then the other days, about 90 days total. And so Fran says swish. Is it swish or switch, Fran? I'm interested in
switch.
Switch. Okay. Switch. Yeah. Spell that
SWI, like switch, like move your butt, switch. Like SWITCH. Yep.
Okay, like switch on your brain, because that literally is what you're doing. You are reprogramming your brain. It is the way you think about a thing. And really, your body follows the mind, right? The body does what the brain tells it to do most of the time. And so 3 main things that you need to set a habit, 3 main things that you need. Number 1 is willpower, doggone it. Willpower. And we are some strong women. It is interesting, because we have willpower for things that really mean a lot to us, right? When with a woman with a made-up mind, baby, get out of her way. When a woman has a made-up mind, she is powerful. She's unstoppable. She can make it do what it does. So you guys talk a little bit about that. Gloria, you're so disciplined. Your willpower is incredible. Katrina, all my girlfriends, incredible willpower. You really have.
I'm gonna tell you something. When you said get out of her way, like we were in New York, right? We were in New York. My sister had a big affair, and my nephew was there, and he was carrying my suitcase. And of course, it was a big suitcase. And so we went to this like on top of this building, right? And I had to channel my mother, because my mother, you talk about a woman with no, you can't tell my mother no about nothing. So he walks up there, and we go to enter the place, and the people look at him and said, you can't bring that luggage in here. So he looks at me. I said, give it to me. So he gave it to me, and then he went in, right? So then when it got to my turn, I looked at that lady and just kept walking. It's just, that whole
that's right.
thing that you learn from discipline. You're not here to harm anybody, but how dare you tell me no? No is not an answer. I'm from out of town. I got my luggage. I know you're going to stop that teenager, but you're not going to stop me. And that's the way you carry yourself in so many ways, that it triples over to other things that you do. And, because all of us fly a lot, we use that at every airport. Now, I know you're not going to tell me that plane is full. Like, you won't find me a seat. Like,
really? Thinking about young people, just today, Kenny, my son, is in town, and he had to go out of town. So he has his dad's big truck. He's going to valet it, because they're both going to come back in town on Saturday. Well, Kenny always valets that big old truck out there. Well, Kennedy gets there, and they say, no, this truck is too big. We can't valet park that truck. And so Kennedy calls, about to move his plane. Mom, they're saying we can't valet the truck. I said, call your daddy. He's all the way in Colorado Springs at the Olympic Training Center. Let me talk to the valet people, okay? Puts his daddy on the phone, and the truck is valet parked. That's a willpower. Okay.
I love that, y'all. I just love that. I love that. One time, Erica had the people that do the lawn at the house, and they were giving her a bunch of trouble. And so she said, now I'm going to get my husband on the phone. And the guy said, okay, I'll talk to your husband. She said, are you sure you want to talk to him? And sure enough, when he got on the phone, you know how they start walking like this. When they start walking, the elbows up in the air, it's over.
So,
That's
so
the
we
will.
got to
That's the
take that
willpower.
same energy. We take that same energy to create habits. Oh my goodness. We're going to point 2, and it's accountability. Think about accountability in terms of a habit. We'll be right back. We got issues, and we're figuring them out with the force of friendship. We're back. Oh my goodness. Such a conversation. Such a good conversation. We're talking habits. We're talking discipline. We're talking creating a habit in 21 days. The habit is to be in your chair, Glory. When that commercial gets back, habit is be in that seat. Okay?
They didn't play our commercial first. They supposed to play our commercial.
That takes discipline. That takes discipline. So the other number 2, first in creating a habit, you must have willpower. Number 2, accountability. Accountability is key in creating a habit. We know that you can sometimes do it yourself, but it's so much easier. It's so much more effective. Like when you're accountable to somebody. I mean, Chrisette is a tough coach in this accountability situation. She's been slacking the last few days, so we got to get her back on. So now I have to be the hard one in the situation. But we're glad that we have each other. I mean, Gloria and Katrina, Walter is your accountability coach, your workout trainer. You're not going to let him down. You're going to show up. So talk a little bit about accountability in creating habits.
Go ahead, Katrina.
Well, I will tell you one thing. You can tell when you're slipping, when you don't want to be accountable. You don't mention it. They don't mention it. You just, it's important that an accountability partner, this is one of the things that we teach as entrepreneurs, accountability partner, power partner. People say, how do I get a power partner? You got to select them right, because it's got to be someone. It's different than a mentor. I mean, it's really different than a coach, but it's good to, and Walter is that he is a coach and he is the accountability partner, but Tracy and I and Gloria and I, we have the same trainer. So it is something when you're within the app, if we're holding each other accountable. So your power partner has got to be willing. Y'all both can't be weak at the same time. One person has got to be strong, the other one, and you got to give each other permission to like be all up in it. If not be girlfriends, okay, let's both have it,
Right. Right. That's
It's
so
like
good.
you got to fire your
So
accountability partner if they don't hold you accountable.
I
Fire.
love it.
Right.
I love it. If they're not
It
getting
makes
the
a
job
difference.
done, if they don't make you move, they're not the one. They are not the one.
Yeah.
Gloria, number 3 is strategy. You are a strategist queen. And so they say in creating a habit, you must have willpower, accountability, and a strategy. Talk about strategy in creating a habit.
You know, one of the things that like I said, to me, strategy comes from the understanding. You know, like I know for myself, if I need to change something, I need to have a strong understanding, even in the strategy. Why would this strategy work? Not just that it's a good idea for somebody else, but what will this do for me? Like when we're talking about accountability, a piece that I know is that app that it's called My Fitness Pal. That's the one that I like. I track my food. When I track my food, it directly gives the information to Walter. Walter directly tells me whether I'm doing right or not. He exposes me to other people. So my strategy for getting discipline is the education I get and who's watching, because I know that works for me. For some people watching them doesn't work for them, but for me, it matters to me because I don't want to let people down. That's what I say to people in my head. You know, I told him the other day, I said, Ken's out of town for 10 days. He's in Europe for 10 days. I want him to be able to see a difference when he gets there. So he says to me, Walter says, well, then we'll work out every day. I said, nah, he ain't got to see that big a difference. I said, if I got to go through this every day, nah.
Right.
Nah,
I hear
Gloria.
you. I hear you. I hear
Gloria.
No, it's a
Walter
balance.
told
It's a balance.
He told me, because I worked out with him after you, and he told me he went in. He was like, I know you didn't go to Harvard and dyslexic, and you gonna not. I mean, he told me
He was
going in. I was
horrible.
like, oh, you got
He
Gloria
was
good.
horrible. My whole body. I said, I thought we was going to do arms. He said, no, we do that on Friday. We're going to do legs today. And he starts laughing and all that. I'm like, oh my God, please help me.
It feels so good to be loved
Don't get
so
the
bad.
people that you're accountable to excited, right? Because when
Yeah.
Chris is excited, she's heavier with Sabrina. When Sabrina's excited, she's heavier with Chris. You get
Right.
Walter
That's
excited,
right.
they want to work you out harder. You give them a reason. Like I used to show Pierre, this is the dress I want to wear at seminar. And he's like, oh, okay, we got to get the back right. We got to get the shoulder right. And then all of a sudden, all this stuff, their world becomes your world. That's when you have a good accountability partner.
That's awesome.
Strategy.
That's good. So check this out. The 21 days getting us ready for pretty much 90 days of onward and upward in creating a habit. The days are the 1 through 3, high motivation. Most people are very excited, highly motivated, but after, we're all into it the first through 3 days. And then guess what? In anything, a goal that people set, days 4 to 10 are the days that they quit during the 21-day cycle. Days 4 through 10. And I know that's the truth, because when I tell you I've been on every diet under the sun, and baby, by the time that 6 and 7 day rolls around, I'm like, this one ain't for me. This ain't for me. Let me look up something else. And so 4 through 10. So you guys, that's when you got to dig in. Because when science tells us that 4 through 10, most people quit, that's when we got to really be focused. Don't give up. Don't give in. And then
it's helpful to know that, Sabrina. That's going to help us just by knowing it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And days 11 through 14, you start noticing results of your habit that you're starting to form. So hang in there, you guys. 11 to 14, whether it's drinking more water, exercise, and moving daily. What other habits are we sleeping on a regular schedule? 11 through 14 is when you're going to start to see results. Skincare every day. 2 weeks. We tell you, give us 2 weeks with that face. You're going to start to see a difference in 10 to 14 days. And then 15 to 20 days, 15 to 20, you can start the countdown, like how many more days do I have left of the 21-day cycle? So you start to feel good about things like, okay, because honestly, when Chrisette started counting day 3, day 4, I didn't want to hear no day 3 or 4, because June is a long month of everyday working out. So I was not excited about her counting day 3 and 4. But now day 23, I can see the end of the month. And so it's like, okay, the end is in sight. And then 21 and after, as we move up to 21 to 30 and 30 to 45 and 45 to 60, 60 to 90, you become a long hauler, a goal setter, a habit a maker, and then you start thinking long term. Long term. Good, Alicia Maxie Green, my girlfriend who had a birthday this month, who I forgot. Y'all say happy birthday to my girlfriend Alicia.
Happy
Okay?
birthday, Lisa.
Happy birthday, Alicia.
She said this habit forming information is very important. Well, we hope it is. Any last thoughts on habits, you guys? Because you guys have created some great habits throughout your life. Any thoughts?
I think we have a great habit of encouraging each other. We go from encouraging each other to competing with each other on encouraging each other. You know, we're like, oh, that Sabrina won that one. She won that one. Oh, she really. And then Chris said, I'm not trying to compete. I'm not trying to compete. I'm just telling you, the only reason they got married is because of me. I was like, okay, here we go. But we do have a habit of responding to each other. We have a habit of communicating. If one of us does not hit the other one back timely, it's because they're busy doing something. It's never a thought of, what's going on. So our communication, our level of communication, the way you communicate to people is a habit. And the way that you welcome communication, people want to call people if they believe the habit of answering the phone or responding to them is going to be enjoy. You tend to roll your eyes if a girlfriend calls and she's going to complain. You roll your eyes if she's going to be a bunch of drama, because that's her habit. And those are good and bad habits, is how you receive other people.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
I want to give people that app. They can go to theswitch.app. Theswitch.app. Okay. I believe in the Apple store, it's called Neurocycle versus Switch. But if you go to theswitch.app, and honestly, that's my funny to close with, is I have habit apps to track my habits, and you got to have the habit of tracking your habit in the app. Okay?
Wow, that is, see, she complicated. She's a complicated girlfriend. Okay, this is right here. She got issues. Okay,
I got issues.
Well, happy anniversary!
Happy anniversary,
years to Carolyn. Oh my goodness, and her amazing husband.
Wow!
Hi, we love you. We appreciate you. Go create great habits. We'll see you tomorrow.
Beautiful.
It's a habit. We're here every day, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7. Peace. Ciao.
Ciao.